Hello and welcome to Nikolai's genetics lessons and the problem of the day. The following pedigree represents the inheritance pattern of specific genetic trait in humans. Assumes that the trait is common in the population. You have to choose the correct answer, and if you need the time, you may stop video here, try to solve this problem on your own first, and then when you would be ready you can run video again and you can compare your answer with my answer and explanation. The first mode of inheritance that is proposed, that this is an autosomal dominant trait. So let's think, is it possible or not? For example, genotype of this affected person, in this case have to be, say, capital A and small a. If it is dominant trait, so this dominant allele would cause this genetic disorder, and in this case recessive allele would be normal allele. So genotype of this person would be small a, small a. In order for this person to inherit this dominant mutated allele, he have to get it through his mother. So mother also have to have this dominant allele, and that means that she have to be affected just like her father, because only one allele would be enough to produce this phenotype. So we can exclude this variant. This is not an autosomal dominant trait. Let's think about, could it be X-linked dominant trait or not? And let me this time use red color to designate defective X chromosome and green color to designate normal chromosomes. So this affected person have to have defective X chromosome, so X, and because he is male, he have to have another sex chromosome, normal Y chromosome, and two normal X chromosomes here. So if it is going to be X-linked dominant trait, then this person here also have to inherit this dominant X-linked trait through his mother. And of course, because he is male, he have to have normal Y chromosome inherited from his father side. So that means that genotype of this female have to be one defective X chromosome inherited from the father side, and this is the only chromosome she can get from father side, and she can get normal X chromosome from her mother side. That means if it is X-linked dominant genetic disorder, that means that this female also have to be affected. So she has a normal X chromosome, but because this is dominant genetic disorder, dominant X-link, she also would be affected. So we do not see it on this picture, and we can cross out this variant too. This is not X-linked dominant trait. Let's consider variant C, an autosomal recessive trait. In this case, the genotype of this person have to be small a, small a. So let's cross out this variance in order not to confuse us. And in the case of autosomal recessive trait, two alleles have to be mutated, have to be defective. And that means that genotype of this female have to be normal, so two normal dominant alleles, capital A and capital A. In this scenario, the genotype of this female would be capital A and small a. There is no other variance. She can inherit one normal allele from her mother side and no choice from her father side. She only can inherit recessive allele, but her phenotype, as you see, would be normal, so she would be a carrier. Can this person also be affected? And this person can be affected if his father also would be a carrier. So as you see, when we have two parents who is going to be heterozygous for a trait or would be a carrier, wouldn't show phenotypically this genetic disorder, so would have normal phenotypes, but in their progeny they may have 1/4 probability to have affected child. So as you see, two unaffected parents may have affected child. 3/4 of the progeny also would be unaffected, but 1/4 would be affected. So this is a probable variant of the mode of inheritance of this genetic disorder. And let's consider X-linked recessive trait. This is answer F. Can it be X-linked recessive trait? Now I want you to return to this 2x for female here and x and y for male here. That's why I left this notation here. This time this defective X chromosome, actually this is only means defective gene on this X chromosome, but I use red color to designate the whole chromosome as defective. But in our first example we did our assumptions that this is dominant trait, but now let's think what would happen if this is going to be X-linked recessive trait. Because males has only one X chromosome, even if this is going to be recessive trait, it would show up as dominant trait here, because males are hemizygous, don't have another X chromosome with normal allele to balance this recessive trait. So recessive trait would show up as dominant and male would be affected. So this is possible. And if mother would have two normal X chromosomes and this female only can inherit this recessive X-linked trait from her father's side, so she have to have this defective allele on one of her X chromosomes, and both X chromosomes inherited from her mother's side. She can inherit this one or this one. Any of them would be normal, so her genotype would be normal X chromosome and defective X chromosome. Because this is X-linked recessive trait, her phenotype would be normal. But what would happen if, for example, her husband would have normal X chromosome and normal Y chromosome? What would happen to their progeny? Let's take a look. So genotype of the mother would be defective X chromosome and normal X chromosome, and genotype of the father would be normal X and normal Y chromosome. So when we build a Punnett square, we can find what might happen to their progeny. And as you see, this female would inherit defective X chromosome from her mother's side, normal X chromosome from father's side, and her phenotype would be normal, two normal X chromosome inherited from both parents here, defective X chromosome inherited from the mother's side, and normal Y chromosome inherited from the father's side, and normal X chromosome inherited from the mother's side, and normal Y chromosome inherited from the father's side. As you see, 50% of the progeny would be females, another 50% of the progeny would be males, but 50% of the males would be affected with this genetic disorder. So if mother is a carrier, none of her daughters would be affected, but 50% of her male progeny we can expect that would be affected. So this is possible mode of inheritance, and this gives us another variant of the answer that going to be answer D. both as autosomal recessive trait and X-linked recessive trait, this genetic disorder can be inherited. So our answer would be answer D. And answer E, as both an autosomal dominant, we excluded this variant trait, and X-linked dominant trait, we also excluded this variant. So as you see, the only correct variant would be answer D. And this is all for today. Thank you for your attention. Please subscribe for my new videos that I post almost every day. Thumbs up if you like this video. Please share this video with your classmates, and see you in the next video. Goodbye.